this better because
I know, right?
I can't really see the screen.
I know. I can't see you. You got to get over here and act like you like me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to move the camera around a little bit. Awesome. Okay. Well, I got to make sure everybody can see you. This is so not about me.
I can see it. I
Yay!
can see me.
I can see you. I can see you. Hello, darling.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Christa Sutton here. We are just getting started with today's episode of Coffee with Christa, and it's springtime in Idaho, so we are outside.
It's a beautiful, beautiful morning.
It is gorgeous out today. We are loving it. That, and we got all set up here. We are, of course, coming to you live from Chardonnay's Brew Lane here in beautiful Meridian, Idaho, right off of 84 and Meridian Road. You guys, easy access from the interstate, phenomenal. And I got to tell you, about 15 people walked in when we were getting ready to go live, and we thought, I don't think this is going to work for us. So we decided to go ahead and come on outside. That was a brilliant idea. It was Dr. Cynthia Rene's idea. So we decided to come hang outside, and
Being outside is always a good idea, Christa.
yes, it is. Well, except in the dead of winter because I'm a pansy, but that's a different story.
Oh, come on.
That's a different story. So, so let's go ahead and get this thing kicked off. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Christa. I, of course, am your host, Christa Sutton, and my goal is to introduce you to people that I think you really need to know. So whether you are looking for inspiration or information or something in between, I do my very best to bring it to you every single week. So today, of course, is absolutely no different. Definitely no exception to the rule, because I have with me the fabulous Dr. Cynthia Rene. You guys, we've known each other a little over a year, just a little over a year. And many of you who know a little bit about my story, my health journey, my mental health journey, know that she was a major, and still is, a major piece of my puzzle, a big part of my health team. And I had the pleasure, we were introduced by a mutual friend, the beautiful Sandy Jones,
Yes.
Christian Living Magazine. Thank you, Sandy. I need to get you on here to be a guest here soon. And this was what, last March?
Yes.
A year ago, March.
Spring.
And what was so amazing was that I was, like so many of us, because I'm 51, I'm almost 52 now. So many of us that start to kind of get into the upper 40s, lower 50s, and we're really quick to blame some of our health stuff on stuff it just ain't.
Yes.
And I was no different. I was no exception to the rule. I thought it was, I'm just getting older, this is the way it's going to be, all the crap that we tell ourselves. And so being able to get in a space with Dr. Cynthia was so amazing in so many ways, because I gotta tell you, our very first session, basically, and I love, because she has structured her business like a coach instead of a doctor, even though she is a doctor, which is awesome. And all of the tools that she was telling me to utilize, all of the homework that she gave me, you guys, it's the same stuff I tell my clients.
Yes, I see lots of my things coming back at me, and I think it's awesome. I'm like, Christa is my best student. She took the bull by the horns with everything that I told her to do and just rolled with it. And I wish that more of my people were more interested in their own well-being and just took that incentive to do the things that make them feel better and not just settle. Women, when they become a little at that age, they decide that they're settling and they're kind of in a transition in their life. They get the empty nest, they have those things, and they just need to adjust their lifestyle. And Christa is a master of that. I think she kind of became her own coach with a little bit of guidance. But I do see a lot of the things that I told her, coming back, and it's like, yes, because she's sharing that. And that is totally my goal, to reach as many people as I can. And that's why my practice is set up like that, because as a doctor, all I do is educate. I can't make you better. I can't do those things for you. You have to do them yourself. And
unfortunately, but it is what it is. But the one thing though is, and that was the one thing that I really appreciated about you and still love about you, is the fact that it's not, I didn't want to be that person that went in and was looking for a quick fix. I didn't want to be that person who was, the quick fix, the magic bullet. I didn't want all the woo-woo, magic patches or pills or whatever. I wanted something that was sustainable. I definitely wanted something that was lifestyle. And that was a really big deal for me to be able to have that and have it be something that I've been using. And it wasn't an overnight fix. And I knew that. I think so many people, clients in all areas of coaching, yes, they want that fix, and it does. I didn't just wake up with severe adrenal fatigue and depression. No, it took a lot of years and a lot of neglect to get where I was. It does. And so she is still a major puzzle piece. We talk all the time. Yes. And our relationship, one of the things that I love about her now is our relationship, and we knew this from the time we first met, even though it took a year to get here, because I had to get healthy, had to start getting my life back, was we knew we were going to work together. And so we're going to talk about that later. But tell us, I would just sit here and brag on you all day long, but we only have about 40 minutes.
But you did it.
I know,
but I gave you the tools.
Okay, yes, but you also held me accountable, and you didn't put up with my crap. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You want to know the worst client to work with as a coach? A coach. I'm just going to say that. We're either the best or the worst, and I think I was a little bit of both. So I really want everybody to hear this story, because you have been, you went through medical school. You've been a naturopath now for how long?
About 15 years.
Yeah, about 15 years. Mm-hmm. And this next phase of her career has been something that's been so amazing to watch. She's been working very closely with the amazing Patricia Drain, who Patricia! She's fabulous. She is so fabulous. If you don't know her, you need to. I need to have her on the show.
Yes, you do. For sure.
So tell everybody just share with everyone about that journey and how, what inspired you, what motivated you to take the direction that you took.
Okay. Well, I have always been into natural health. I was kind of raised that way. My grandparents didn't really believe in going to the doctor. My aunt actually taught me a lot about self-soothing, which we've talked about in the past, self-soothing. She learned to go out into nature and self-soothe, and we picked a lot of plants, and so they gave me that grounding foundation. And what I didn't realize, though, is because when I was a kid out running around, I didn't even know it, but I was eating buttonweed, which is actually marshmallow, and different herbs, because I didn't want to go in the house. And so I was actually learning to forage and get on that path for most of my life. And then when I was in my mid-20s, I owned a very successful construction company, and life was, to me, what I considered the best that it could have been. And all of a sudden, bam, my bra, one day I was driving and my bra turned into this tourniquet, and it was squeezing the life out of me. It was squeezing my breath, and I couldn't breathe, and I was having at that time a huge panic attack that I didn't even know what panic attacks were. When I first started to, people didn't talk about anxiety. Nope. I thought I was dying. And so this started a succession of those, and I couldn't figure out, and they just wanted to medicate and drug, and I didn't take those because, for one thing, I couldn't even take like a Tylenol or a vitamin, because that would trigger a panic attack. Oh gosh. And so I had to learn to maintain that through maintain my anxiety through diet, lifestyle. Exercise was the biggest key to release the natural endorphins. And so as I started on that journey of self-healing, and I was doing pretty good, I became a lot more stable with my anxiety and things. And so then I was teaching water aerobics along with my construction company and going to school and a few other things. So I was teaching water aerobics at the gym along with Silver Sneakers. And I thought I was pretty darn healthy. I actually thought I was really healthy. And then all of a sudden my hips started to not work. And every morning when I'd get out of bed, my feet hurt so bad it felt like somebody was taking one of my sledgehammers from the construction site and hitting the bottom of each one of my feet every time I'd take a step. And I was like, oh man, what is going on? And so being the researcher that I am, that's part of what got me into it. I was researching, and it was like, well, I think I have rheumatoid arthritis, like really bad, and all of a sudden. And so I was seeing a chiropractor who was more of a naturopathic type chiropractor.
Nice.
Not the wonderful Dr. Hensley. And I was seeing a chiropractor, and so I went into his office and I said, you know, Dr. Glutley, and he knew me, and he knew that, you know, I had a pretty clean diet, and he says, well, so what's going on? And I explained everything to him, and he said, do you know what chlorine does? And I said, well, yeah, it disinfects things. He says it kills things. So through the water aerobics and standing on the surface, breathing all this chlorine, and then eating laboratory food, protein bars and shakes as my main diet, I had developed some pretty, well, candida for one thing. I went to another naturopath. They looked at my blood under the microscope, and so I had some candida. I had some neurological, because chlorine's a neurotoxin, and so I had never experienced a lot of chlorine because I'd always been on well water. And so I went and I cleaned up my diet. I got rid of the Frankenfood laboratory stuff.
I love Frankenfood. I love that. That is the funniest thing.
And so she looked at my blood. I got on a pretty good whole food diet. I started eating eggs. I eliminated some other things from my diet. I also eliminated the stress, and I unfortunately told them I wasn't able to teach the aerobic lessons, which was very hard. Because I loved it. I had a lot of people in there that like had COPD, which scared me to death when you'd see them in the water trying to breathe. But anyway, as in about 3 days is all it took with eating eggs because of the sulfur, and my body changed. Within a year, I was working at the chiropractic office, went back to naturopathic school, and then over the course I got my doctorate. And so I was my own best science experiment.
Nice.
And I still am. And the thing is, it's come naturally to me because through my whole life, people have always come to me with stuff, and I've always been able to listen and talk through things, and so it just was an extension of who I am.
You're such a unifier. I love that about you.
Yes, I like your test. I finally, you know, uh-oh.
Let's pray the sprinklers don't come over here.
I don't think they will. It's okay. I had a shower today. Oh, misty.
That's kind of nice.
It is.
The sprinklers are on because
atmosphere.
This is what happens in my show.
It's true life.
No, because my back is going to be soaked. Why don't you scooch over? It's like, no, my back is now officially wet.
Oh, no.
I was waiting for housekeeping to come in when I was actually. Oh yeah,
right
that's
there?
just gonna nail me. We're so entertaining. Yeah, let's just sit right here.
It's because of me.
Oh, this bench is wonky.
Good morning.
In 2 minutes?
2 minutes.
Your notebook's over there too.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry.
Oh, and
Nope,
your
you're
bag.
fine.
Thank you.
Are these wonderful gentlemen come and save us?
You're blowing out the lines?
They're
Starting them out.
awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay, I want to make sure they can see you.
Okay.
Let's sit.
Scoot closer.
Okay, back to the show. Where were we?
Oh, I was just wrapping up
Yeah,
my
yeah.
story. That's how I became a doctor.
Yes. So, notebook's all wet. Okay. Although I'm nice and cool now. I like that. That's kind of nice.
Yes.
So we were rescued by the wonderful guys with Cutting Edge. So shout out to them for being wonderful. So what made you decide to be a little unconventional? Because you have set up. Talk about the school. Talk about the coaching piece. Talk about the way that you made the way that you decided to launch. I hear sprinklers behind us. Really? Now we're sitting. It's okay. They're going the other way. It's all good. Those poor guys are being so sweet to us.
It was just a test.
It was just a test. It was just a test. So, because instead of just opening a traditional practice, you opted for more the coaching route, and now a school. Talk to us about that, because this is so cool, you guys.
Well, traditional naturopaths, okay, so I'll just be bluntly honest, because sometimes that's kind of who I am.
Please do.
And
That's what we do on this. That's what we do here.
Love me for, well, love me or hate me. Anyway, I watch a lot of traditional naturopaths, and they will work almost like a medical doctor, and I'm not belittling anyone and how they do and how they function, because in a instant gratification world, sometimes that's just the way things work. And not everyone is willing to change their lifestyle until they see that that's what they need to do. Anyway, so a lot of naturopaths will prescribe or suggest hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of supplements.
Yep.
And so
I've seen it happen.
yes, lots of supplements. Not saying that supplements and herbs are not necessary. They are. They can be a very crucial part of a person's recovery. And I didn't want to work that way. I actually have my own supplement line anyway, but I have always been a business person, and so I have this business mind, and I also like to help as many people as I can. If I'm in my office, I can only help one person at a time. And I'm not the 15-minute doctor. I'm hour and a half, whatever it takes to work through and really get into the root of what it is. Why do you feel this way? Not, oh, let's give you this herb and whatever, because then you're going to come back and be like, well, I was better for a little while, but because I didn't change my lifestyle, I'm still not feeling well.
Right.
So to coach a person through those lifestyle changes is very important to me. And being able to reach as many people as possible. If I can only reach, say, 8, 10, 12 people a day, where if I can educate others to help more people,
Duplicate yourself.
if I can duplicate myself,
Smart.
yes, exactly, then I can reach so many more people. If I'm live and I can reach 100 people or 1,000 people at a time, and they can gain this knowledge to help themselves feel better, that's what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping people change and redirect and reframe their life into a healthy lifestyle so that they feel better. And the school was important to me because I've looked at some of the coaching certification programs online. There's not a lot of them, and
They ain't cheap.
they're not cheap. And so I wanted to make something that was affordable, that was a little more hands-on, geared more towards what I do in helping people. And so it was just a natural extension of who I am, and Patricia helped me with that. Because if it's me, I will give the farm away.
She does that.
It's like
I was guilty of it too. I did it too. I think we all do. Those of us that are really driven to make a difference, I think we have a tendency to
right.
give it all away.
Right. And so this is a natural and then I actually have a school that digs a little deeper than just a wellness coach. And that school is based on the fact that when we bury emotions in our body, they come back to haunt us in some ways. Mine was anxiety. They can be cancer. It can be many things that can create, you can just flip it over.
No, it's keeping us on track.
Oh, okay. That can create many forms of dysfunction in the body. And some of those emotions we don't even realize they're not ours. They could be our mom's, because when we're in the womb and we're being formed in a cocktail of our mother's emotions, and she was formed in a womb of her mother's emotions, some of those generational emotional things that we have to deal with, it takes really digging deep, and definitely not reliving them. It's on a positive note, and it's a healing at a level of spiritual healing and of ancestral healing, and it's learning to create into that. It's learning to tap into that inheritance, those strengths of inheritance that we have that are ancestral, that go clear back, and using nature as a guide, an example. The Native Americans used creation in a lot of ways,
Yeah.
to learn and educate themselves, and it has so much to offer.
Awesome. So, what's the name of the school again?
It is called Prairie Sage Wellness Academy, but the main focus of it is, the main program is called Pneuma Fire. And your pneuma is your life force, your spirit, your breath that was given, that keeps us alive. And so when we ignite that, we have passion and live for the future and what we can become of who we are. It's
Very
like
intentional.
the Wizard of Oz.
It is like the Wizard of Oz.
So if you look at the Scarecrow and the Tin Man, they had those things within them the whole time, but they didn't know it. They just had to have somebody show them.
Yep.
And that's what I do.
That is what you do.
That is what I do.
That's a wonderful way to put it. It's true. So, I have to brag on you some more. So
That's very uncomfortable for me. It's something I need to fix.
That's why I'm working on it, because see, Patricia, we're working on it. Is I think what I don't even want to say impressed me, although it did. What surprised me and what blessed me, I like that. What blessed me the most
There you
was your patience level. So here's the thing. When I first met with you last March, I had, after just having conversations and walking through what was going on, and I'll be honest, I expected some kind of a magical potion. I'd hoped. I knew better, but I hoped. And my homework, my focus, 3 hours a day. Now keep in mind, up until the point when I met with her, the world got me for about 1 hour a day. I didn't sleep well. I wasn't eating well. I was severely depressed, undiagnosed.
Yeah.
And I would be able to get up in the morning and I could be me. I could focus and I could be me for 1 hour a day. So whether that 1 hour was a client or a networking group or a meeting of some kind or whatever, the world got me for 1 hour a day. And then that was it. Tap, I'm out. I was faking it the rest of the time. And I don't fake stuff real well.
No, I've learned that.
I don't fake stuff
Just
real
good.
well. I just, I get that glazed over look on my eyes. Today it's just medication for my headache, but I get that glazed over look, and I lose the ability to speak the English language. That's just the way that it is. And so I really expected like some really long, drawn out, extensive program that I was never going to be able to do, or I was secretly hoping for a magic bullet. And what I got was 3 hours of homework a day. I love this. You had me, 1 hour had to be my morning routine, which is hilarious because those of you that are my clients, I've been preaching morning routines for a decade now.
She needed to practice what she preached.
Hey, we're too close to our own stuff.
Yeah, we are. Totally.
Landscape
Totally.
gardeners
Look,
have a yard that looks like crap, okay? Auto mechanics have broken down cars, coaches.
Yeah.
It is what it is sometimes,
Exactly.
We're too close to our own stuff. And so to be able to, here was the homework of 1 hour of a morning routine, and you added the audio portion for me. So for me, what was going to work for me was listening to worship music, was grounding, which if you guys are not doing grounding, you have to do it.
Do it.
It is, to me, that was almost woo-woo, and then it was like, no, it is not. It is energetic, and it is the way that God created the universe. So yes, grounding, and just that quiet time, and whatever I needed to do in that 1 hour time frame.
Yeah. Build yourself up.
Exactly. Just focus on me, focus on getting that feeling centered, whatever I needed to do.
Yeah.
And then 1 hour, I had to walk on the treadmill.
And I remember what was a trigger on the treadmill. It was the Greatest Showman soundtrack. because she
Yeah.
was a little whiny about the treadmill.
I was a lot whiny. Let's be realistic here. I'm like, you want me to what? I'm not going to walk on the treadmill for an hour. Shouldn't I do weights or shouldn't I be doing that? And she's like, no.
Because I wanted the endorphins. It wasn't just the exercise for the physical body. It was a whole lot of things. And with the worship music, I knew. But for her spirit, what she clicked with was the soundtrack to The Greatest Showman.
Yes. And yeah, it got me on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Every day
Yep.
because it was like, oh, Hugh
Yeah.
Jackman. I'm going to go. My sister and I are going to Salt Lake in July to see Hugh Jackman.
Score!
I'm so excited. Love him.
Yes.
And then 1 hour of additional self-care.
Yep.
Whatever that needed to look like, and I had a list I could choose, or whatever the day needed. Sometimes it was a nap, sometimes it was I would go hang out with one of my kids. It was hanging out with my hubby, going to coffee with a girlfriend, whatever, 1 additional hour.
Yeah.
And I had the audacity to look at her and go, I don't have 3 hours a day. To which she, very politely replied, so what are you doing in those 3 hours a day that you can't spare? Staring into space trying to work and I can't. So I did it. I did it begrudgingly because it's me. But I got to tell you, it was just a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I was really shocked. I really started feeling a lot better, and there were other components. I with mental health, had to go a little bit of a different direction, but that's all come together now. And now I really get to focus. I'm really excited because now this is my year. 2019 I have declared is my year to become healthy, all areas. All areas.
I get to brag on you because I watched you. You came in and you were so sad. You had just moved here not long ago.
Yeah, we've been here for about 2.5 years, I think.
Yeah, and I think that's where it kind of taken
yeah.
those shifts. And you weren't who you were. You weren't.
No, not
you weren't
even close.
Christa.
Not even
And
close.
so I've watched, and she would dabble a little here and there. I just kind of watched on social media, kind of to track her progress, and totally changed. And I've watched her go from throwing something out to building a phenomenal way of helping people and putting it together. In fact, I'm so thankful that she does use the techniques that she uses because she is reaching. She's like the epitome of what I want in people, to go out and teach other people what I teach them. And I watched you this last little bit too. The hamster wheel has just exploded, and you have just exploded. It's like you just blossomed into that butterfly.
Oh, thank you. And it's it started last year, and so I've been implementing what I've learned from you. And she gets this is a woman who gets texts from me. We talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Then I know.
You're the only person I'm going to talk to this about. What is going on? What can I do? And the cool thing is she always has an answer.
Of some sort.
Even if the answer is, let me go research it. Let me think about this, and I'll get back to you, which I love and appreciate. I'd rather have that than someone who just says, "Oh, go do this," or try this or whatever. Yeah. I appreciate the fact that she knows her clients, knows, and I'm really excited to see everything moving forward with Prairie Sage and everything that you've got your hands in. And the really cool thing is that, like I mentioned earlier, she and I just kind of had a feeling from the beginning we were going to work together, and we are.
Yay!
So tell everybody what you're up to, because I get to kind of tag into some stuff she's doing. This is her baby. I just get to tag in.
Oh, well, it's yours too, because what I see in working with my clients, and what I was kind of doing and didn't even realize it, was I was working with their personalities. So it was like, okay, this person is going to be a food prepper. They're going to go and every Sunday they're going to prepare their food or whatever, and they're going to stick to a recipe, they're going to stick to a plan. But then I'd have people that, oh no, you're going to have to hold their hand, they're not going to food prep, they're going to be willy-nilly, they're going to grab whatever. Wait a minute. But then I have people too that aren't going to stick to anything, and they you can't enable them. And so yes, they do get more supplements because they're not going to do the work to really feel better. Christa was very dedicated. She did an awesome job. And so
You made it simple, in all fairness.
Back to
if
the
it was
person.
hard, I wouldn't have done it.
Yes, you would have. You wanted to feel better.
I actually did.
And
yeah.
so I thought, as she was telling me about what she's doing, and like I said, I've been watching what she's doing and having these personality tests and working with people on that, I thought, what a unique opportunity we have to help people build their wellness programs, their life practice to put into their savings account for when they're 50, 60, 70 and beyond, so that they can not only live that long but feel good and do the things that they want to do, but base those wellness programs around their personality so that it works for them. Not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. That's just not how people work. No. And so I approached Christa and I said, hey, babe, you want to do this with me? And
I'm like, I don't even care what you're doing, I'm in.
And so I didn't want to do it without her, so we're going to Roystone Hot Springs, and I will tell you that hot springs are incredible sources of healing. I was in a car accident, and I had some concussion, recently, and a big part of my healing process was going to the hot springs. And so while I was there one day, I was like, this is where this needs to happen. So I created an event, and it's 4 hours, and we're going to share recipes, but based on your personality, we're going to build you a little bit of a healthy living wellness program. So you're gonna get recipes. You're gonna make your own herbal tea. Herbal teas are helpful in so many ways. You're gonna build your own essential oil blend. You're gonna come away with a pattern, a blueprint of who you are and who you can tap into to create that well-being. Deposit into that banking account. Do you pay as much attention to your spiritual, physical, and mental bank account as you do the one at the branch where you bank? Not necessarily.
And like when we first got together and started talking about this, and it's so incredibly true. And this is not going to be this big, extensive, in-depth personality. That's not what we're doing.
Right.
It's me being able to come alongside Dr. Cynthia and say, for those of you who are more right-brained, these are some of the obstacles you're going to face. These are some of the struggles that you sometimes face. Let's find a way to make them work. Let's find a way. Let's find a system for you that feels like it's a good fit. And then, you know, the left-brainers are very logical. They're very results driven. They're the ones you can give them a meal plan and they go and they execute it. And right-brainers are not. We're the ones who make decisions with our heart, not our head. And sometimes we struggle with the follow through, and because we're so focused on the big picture that we get lost in the details. And and another really big piece to that is sometimes we read a book, or we attend a webinar, or we go to another class, or whatever. There's a system that's out there. And one thing that, and I share this with my clients all the time, you've heard me in the group all the time say this, is the majority of the self-help books that are out there, the majority of them, not all of them, but the majority of them are written by frontal lobe left-brainers. They're written by that director personality. And these are the people who say, here's my goal, and they execute it because it's how they're wired. Those are the type A personalities. And then there's the other 85% of us who are like, I don't do that. So we can read a book. I did this for years, like well over a decade, where I would read a book. Somebody would say, you have to read this book. I would read it, and it was amazing, and I had takeaways, and then nothing. There's a reason. It's not you. It wasn't me. It was great information, but it wasn't in alignment with my wiring. And that goes with everything. You've got to know how you're wired. You've got to know what that means for how your brain uses energy. You've got to know what that looks like so that you can take advice from somebody like Dr. Cynthia and actually create the system, alter it in a way that actually fits your wiring, your lifestyle, your needs, the whole 9 yards. So I'm excited I get to kind of be that little tag along and help you guys with your program as well. So it'll be fun.
It's going to be awesome. And I got a little too deep into what the personality is. We wouldn't have enough hours, for one thing, to dive into that. So it's not necessarily a personality test, but it is your type. And that, I guess, instinctively, that's how I knew to help people in different ways, because just as personalities are different, bodies are different, and so what works for one person isn't going to work for another person with their body as well as sticking to it. And I will say this, those type A people that are so regimented in their routine, they can't face a little failure. They might stick to that routine and then go, I didn't lose weight, or I didn't whatever, I didn't reach my goal.
I didn't get the results. I didn't get the results. It doesn't work. Boom. So, so give us all the details. When, where, cost.
The details. Cool. Okay, cost. Cost is $77 unless you bring a buddy because it's close to Mother's Day, and then it's $137. If you want to stay for the soak, we've only got a very few spots left, but you're going to want involved in that. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, so here's the deal. We have what, like 3, 4, something like that. We have a few spots. It's going to be a really intimate event. There's only going to be 20.
Yeah.
We limited this to 20 for
so you
a
get the
reason.
Personal attention.
We want you to have the personal attention. Yeah. But the first 10 who enroll get to hang out and soak with us.
You get to see us in our swimming suits. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness I just bought a new one.
I think I might have to get a new one.
I had to get one. I was in Arizona. I had to get a new one.
But that means that's a time when you, oh nice, yes you did in the sun. But that means you get that extra 45 minutes or so to hang with us, maybe pick our brains a little bit. And so that will be a wonderful time. But it's going to be very, like Christa said, intimate. You're going to have a lot of aha moments and realize, oh, that's why that didn't work. Or, oh, that's how come I like to do things this way or that way. Or you're going to look at your food as in a whole different way. You're going to look at your body in a whole different way. You're going to realize that you're not just this physical body that that you are putting stuff into. You're going to realize that the stuff that you put in your body is fuel, just like you put in your gas tank.
I knew at some point we'd have an airplane overhead,
which is wonderful. Then we got
which is awesome. Which is awesome. I love it.
It is nice.
So May 4th,
yes,
which is Saturday.
Yeah, it's next. It's
a week from Saturday. Holy cow, we might want to finish up our notes.
Yes.
So it's a week from this coming Saturday. So it's Saturday, May 4th.
Yes.
9 to 1.
9 to 1 is the seminar, and then 1 to 2 is the soak. And we won't be feeding you lunch, but you're going to have plenty to eat because we're going to have a whole bunch of healthy, time-efficient recipes there for you to try and take on and tweak if you're creative, or stick to if you're not. And that will be our lunch. We'll also have some herbal teas to sample that you can drink, waters, and whatever. It's all inclusive.
Have a little bit of snacky poo. And because it's a Saturday, honestly, we figured, because this is what I would do if I was there with my mom or my sister or both, is after the event is over, we would go out for a big lunch and sit and talk and talk and talk. So we took that into consideration as well. But there will be little snacky poos, little samples for you guys to try to munch on. And so you guys would love to have you there. Those of you that are here in the Treasure Valley area. Yes. We're really excited about it. What else do you want to add about that, darling?
Well, babe,
I just love her so much.
Well, as you can see, it's going to be highly energetic. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a way to de-stress, unplug, just come and be comfortable, learn a little bit about health. Absolutely no judgment. It's just going to be embracing yourself, embracing your wellness, and investing in you. So it's the best form of self-care that you could do.
Exactly. And I mean, it's something I tell my clients all the time. When it comes to this event, here's the big old deal. There is, wherever you're at in your health journey, wherever, you could be knocking it out of the park, you could be barely hanging on, or somewhere in between.
Right.
There is no good, no bad, no right, no wrong. It just is. And no matter where you are in your health journey, this is going to be a really good fit for you. It's going to help you with those first steps, or it's going to give you additional tools to continue to move forward. So we're really excited to have you guys there. Again, really intimate, 20 spots.
Yeah.
We still have
Patricia's
a few available. Patricia's coming?
Patricia's going to be there.
I don't know whether to be excited or intimidated. I'm a little of
No
both.
way!
I'm a little of both, because Patricia is amazing.
Woo!
She's awesome. I can hardly wait. Patricia, please, it's casual. If you're watching, it is casual.
No way, I built her a swimming suit. You can't wait to see it.
I am super duper excited. I am super excited. So really quickly, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I love my sweet friend. Oh, I love you. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee with Christa. Hoping the lighting wasn't too bad. We had to put our shades on. It's bright out here. Coming to you live from beautiful Meridian, Idaho. Please make sure and stop by and say hi to the beautiful Chardonnay Juarez right here behind us. Chardonnay's Brew Lane, our location sponsor. Thank you for the coffee as always, Chardonnay.
Yes,
you gotta love a medium roast that tastes like a dark. Woo! It's her, I think it's Colombian.
Yes.
Is it the Colombian? I love this stuff. And also, just because we've been talking about self-care, you guys, those of you that are a part of the Get Off the Damn Hamster Wheel 5-day challenge group, May 13th, mark your calendar. We're going to be doing our very next 5-day challenge in the Get Off the Damn Hamster Wheel series. May 13th, we are going to start Self-care is not selfish. So I'm going to be taking you on a journey of what self-care can look like for you based on your wiring. It's going to be a completely different direction from what we're going to be doing on May 4th. And like Kimberly Davies, love you Kimberly, is online, and that way there are people who aren't here in the Treasure Valley that can come and be with us face to face. I wanted to offer something very similar online. I might even have a special guest in the 5-day challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I always try to do that on camera and then she can't get out of it.
Yeah, then I look like a schmuck if I say no.
It
which
works.
I wouldn't anyway.
I know you do it. Both of us are like, oh, I'm in. Well, just tell me when and I'll be there.
Let's do it.
So mark the calendars, May 13th, and that'll be a 5-day challenge focusing on self-care. Self-care is a lifestyle. It's not an activity, and it's definitely not selfish. So for Dr. Cynthia Rene, Chardonnay, who's hanging out in there making coffee for the 900 people that have crammed in there today, and myself, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Love and appreciate you. And as always, you guys, go be blessed in your success. Love ya.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.